And let's bring in foreign policy expert Harley Lippman, who served on the USAID Middle East Partnership for Peace Fund. Harley, thanks so much for coming in. I know you recently met with Prime Minister Netanyahu yourself. What stuck out to you from your conversation with him?
His big challenge is that he needs aid to bring all the hostages back. He's under extraordinary pressure from Israel. Second, even if there is a ceasefire, which everybody wants, the problem is if Hamas stays in power, they'll come back and commit perhaps even more atrocities against Israel. Plus, it'll be an extraordinary propaganda victory for Hamas. If just one Hamas fighter emerges from the rubble and waves a flag and stays in power, they could say they stood up against the biggest military power in the Middle East, and they survived after nearly 2 years, when Iran was crushed after only 12 days. So Bibi Netanyahu does not want to give Hamas that kind of victory, which could come back to haunt Israel in the near future.
So then how do you actually fully eliminate Hamas, as you say? And if that's the case, then why is there so much optimism that they could reach a ceasefire this time?
I think because Hamas has seen what President Trump and Israel has done to Hezbollah and to Iran, and I think for the first time they see that now this could happen to them. So I think that's reason one. Reason two is I think that they're trying to work out something where maybe Hamas people, their leadership could be exiled, the way Israel did it with the PLO in 1982 in Lebanon, where they could leave the country under safe passage and maybe make way for some other new leadership. So Hamas is digging in their heels. They're holding on to the hostages. Some people say they'll never let go of all of them because that's their only card they have to play. So that's going to create all these challenges. But I'm actually very optimistic. I think America and Israel have never been more aligned. They've never been more powerful, if you will, to move things their direction. And I think above all, they're going to put huge pressure on Qatar, which funds Hamas, to finally get Hamas to come to the table and make a deal.
What happens in Gaza if that deal does come to fruition?
I think it's peace for the Gazans. For one, the Palestinians have suffered terribly. It's an opportunity to rebuild. It's basically uninhabitable. So if Trump's plan comes back in some way and people who want to leave can leave and have a better life elsewhere, that's going to be open to them. Because in Gaza now, there's not much running water, there's not sewage, there's problems with electricity, there's booby traps everywhere. It's a terrible place to be. So they need to rebuild it. And I think that will offer great hope for the Palestinians and ideally make it into some kind of Singapore or Dubai where the place will actually not only be a good place to live, but will really thrive.
I know you've spoken to a number of top officials even earlier today, including Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee. What are they saying about this deal? And is there a sense of something the president could do to seal the deal today?
Yeah, everybody's optimistic. So it makes me feel there's something in the wind that's going to bring about an agreement in Gaza now. I have a very good feeling about that. So I think that's very much in the works. I think that Iran is another big issue that they have to come to terms with as to what they do going forward. Iran seems to be, even though they're acting very tough publicly, I think that there's maybe an opportunity to create something where there's going to be peace in the region. But the world has changed dramatically in the Middle East from just 3 months ago. It's an entirely different place. It's going to be completely transformed. And it's going to shock people because I think the real good outcome out of this is that the Abraham Accords, the peace agreements in the Middle East, are going to take place with Syria next, then Lebanon, and then Qatar. Saudi Arabia will come later, but that's the new big breaking news that I believe is going to come about in the very, very near future.
All right, Harley Lippman, we appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.